You have to earn everything that you have. That's what our parents taught us at a really young age. We worked for everything we had. I think you kind of just figure out things on your own as well. You got to kind of be a go-getter, and you just can't be told what to do every time, man. Just sometimes you have to figure things out, and I think a lot of people lack that these days because the internet is so accessible. Everything's so accessible that you don't really ever learn now how to just dig deep and figure it out. They want to ask a million questions and you give them the secret sauce, but they never actually go and do it. The more stuff you give them free, the less they actually use. And sometimes you almost have to make them pay for it just so they actually apply it.
We got an amazing guest here. We're so appreciative. We got Chris Gronkowski. He's a former NFL player for the Dallas Cowboys, Denver Broncos, and the Indianapolis Colts, turned entrepreneur, owner of Ice Shaker, as seen on ABC's Shark Tank and invested in by Mark Cuban. Man, what is good, Chris?
Man, I get pumped every time I watch that rerun, so.
You like that?
Yeah, man, I like that.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good
It's
clip.
good, man. You get to play Flip Cup against the Sharks. I mean,
Yeah.
Man, you look like you're about to
Doesn't get much
tackle
better.
somebody right now.
Oh, I was ready, man. You know what's great about that show too was I knew it would play forever, and I was like, man, I got to get jacked for it too. So got a
And
big
you
workout
were.
in the morning. I was ready to go. I practiced Flip Cup all night, and hey, we flipped them all in one, except Rob. Rob did two, so.
Yep.
We were ready, man. We were ready.
Well, that's nice too that y'all got to get together, right? Because how often does that happen?
Not much. Yeah, I had to fly him out, and they made me fly him first class from Boston all the way to Cali too, man. So that was it was an expensive ticket.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he had to
That's
sleep.
messed
It was
up.
a red eye, but it was worth it. It was worth it for sure.
Family, bro. They always cost you.
Hey,
Yeah.
they definitely helped me out. So I would say it was a good return on investment.
I bet. So what is it like? I gotta just know, man. You're the middle of five, right?
Middle of five boys, man. Mayhem. That's what it was growing up. I have three boys now, and I don't know how my parents did it or why they did it. Like, why would you want five? I don't know. That's crazy.
Five monsters too.
Five
I can
monsters, and
identify.
every day was a fight, man. Like all out brawl, no matter what. So we were always outside playing games, and if you won, you had to rub it in. To rub it in your face. And rub it in, and then if you lost, you'd be like, all right, we're gonna fight then. I'm gonna win in the fight. So every day was all out brawls.
Wow.
We had nothing in our family room. So we had a couch and we had a rocking chair, and that was it. Because the end table, we threw each other through it.
Tore up.
And yes, I don't know how my parents sold the house, but they had to replace everything before they did it.
Yeah, we've learned. So I got three boys too, and they're old enough now. They're not just toddlers now. So my wife and I, we joked about that. Said, hey, I guess we're not buying any nice furniture for the next 10 years, 15 years.
Could
You
you
guys
imagine
probably
with
get
that
Gordon
family though?
Blue.
Wow.
Man. So did you have middle child? Do you have middle child syndrome?
Oh, so man, I don't know what you call it because it was just it was just a free for all, man. That's all it was.
Yep.
I was the shortest, the smallest, so man, it was just.
Oh, wow.
The good thing I had going was I was also the fattest, and when you're younger, man, you got some weight, you got some leverage, you could fight, man. So I could fight back in the day, and that was kind of what just pushed me, man. I always kind of had that underdog mentality.
So
I was gonna ask you about your podcast, Gronk'd Up. Tell us
Gronk'd
about
Up,
that.
man. Yeah, so really a concept that started right around when COVID hit for the most part. A
Oh,
lot
really?
of people were just asking questions, and I wanted to bring value with more than just a single line answer on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. So I kind of took all those questions that I was getting and I put them into a podcast format and just started answering them. And after I got through about 30 episodes of everything that I was an expert at, I started running out of things to talk about. So I brought in other experts that could help people, especially during that time, during COVID, when a lot of people were struggling with mental health or fitness, nutrition, stuff like that. So we started bringing in fitness coaches, a couple Navy SEALs, and just turned into it's a really cool podcast. I think our last one was with Steve Madden. Telling his story,
awesome.
man. And he was telling the Wolf of Wall Street story, right? How it actually went down. I'm like, this is amazing, man. I love that movie. So turned into just a really cool podcast, and I love it, man. It also challenges me, and it helps me network as well.
sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is really cool. So okay, so you've done some a few interviews here and there. What do you think is, and obviously your sphere of influence, like what do you think is a common trait in successful people? What do you like a common theme that a lot of successful people do?
Man, everything I see and kind of how I was raised was always, you have to earn everything that you have. That's what our parents taught us at a really young age. We worked for everything we had, man, just learn the value of a dollar at a very young age. So I think everyone that's successful, man, they earn it. They bring value and they earn everything that they have. And that's how I always looked at it. I think you kind of just figure out things on your own as well. You got to kind of be a go-getter, and you just can't be told what to do every time, man. Just sometimes you have to figure things out, and I think a lot of people lack that these days because the internet is so accessible. Everything's so accessible that you don't really ever learn now how to just dig deep and figure it out.
I can understand that. I get a lot of people that it almost seems like they want you to do it for them, right? They see you and they see success, and they want you. They want to know. And I like the curiosity. They want to know how you achieve the success, but then they want you to do it. They want you to basically hand it to them.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Right. You ever get that?
Absolutely. Every time. And they want to ask a million questions, and you give them the secret sauce, but they never actually go and do it.
And apply it. Yeah.
Yeah, they never apply
Oh,
it.
that's job search.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It can be. It can be.
And it's
for
almost like the more stuff you give them free, the less they actually use. And sometimes you almost have to make them pay for it just so they actually apply it.
So that
Yeah, because there's value.
boom.
Yep.
Okay, because we
I
get
should
that
be
a lot.
throwing up.
I'm going to tell you right now. You know, if it's free, it's too easy, right? Even
Absolutely.
if like, I'll give you an example. Let's say you paid $10 for it. Okay, it's not a lot of money, but you pay $10, you're going to show up. Like, let's say it's an event, right? You bought a ticket, and you paid $10 for that ticket. You'll show up because
If the ticket was free, you might not show up.
If it's free, you're like,
Probably wouldn't. It's same with everything, man. I could throw a free workout at someone, a whole free 7-day shred, and I do it as a value add if you buy a product from us. And you know, how many people actually do it?
Hold up. You're saying I'm gonna get me a cup. I'm gonna get me
right here.
Let me get one of these.
Oh.
So I'm gonna buy me a cup, and then we're gonna shred for 7 days.
Hey, you can if you want. That's up to you. If you actually want to apply it. But again, it goes back to, I do it free, and it's actually something I put a ton of time into. I documented every single thing I ate, every workout I did, what time I woke up, what time I went to sleep.
So is
broke down
this
the
like
calories.
a course, like online, like a?
It's
like
just
you watch
a free ebook.
Oh, cool.
It links over to like videos as well, but I
Nice.
just did it. Really, man, everything I try to do, and anyone who's successful also, brings value. And it was kind of, how can I bring value to our customers? Just extra value for being a customer of ours. So I did this, and I knew a lot of people were asking me questions about health and fitness. So I said, hey, I'm going to take a week and document every single thing I do and post it for them. So I could give them a legit answer instead of
There you go.
hey, eat healthy, hey,
Right.
work out, once a week.
You know,
or
There you go.
that's
Plan.
Yeah.
one of the cool things about creating content is like, so I've been creating content really heavily in this past year as well. And I now have that. People give me the common questions, right? And then I have a piece of content just for it. And I'm like, instead of having to take my time out,
Yep.
I have an evergreen video that I just, here you go, take a look at
Evergreen
this.
video.
Right?
Yep.
I send it to them, and it does the same thing, but I don't have to take my time out every single time to answer that question in person.
And it's
So-
a better answer too.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
You had time to actually put it together, and it's well done. It's well done.
Right.
So I just shoot that over as well. Anytime
Love that.
someone asks.
So what was it like? Because we were talking about this earlier. You've gone through a huge transition, right? From the NFL at that level to whatever it is that's next, right? So what was that like?
So I was like the luckiest person in the world when it came to this, because that transition is brutal, man. And I have teammates, I have friends and family members that went through it, and you struggle because that's your identity, man. You played football probably since high school, sometimes before that, and you've done nothing else. You have no job experience. You have nothing. And so when you leave, man, you also take a huge salary cut. So when you're getting paid weekly and it's thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then you go to a new job that might pay you $50 a year, that hurts the ego a little bit, man. So most guys just don't do it. So they never start. They kind of just chill and live off their money, but then eventually they
The
run
money
out of
runs
money.
out.
And so for me,
They like flash.
yeah, because that's the lifestyle you're living, man. So
Yeah.
you keep it going, but the money's not coming anymore.
Right.
And so they eventually run out. But for me, what happened was I went to 3 teams in 3 years, and my wife, after the 3rd team, was like, hey, I'm not looking for another job because it's rough. You guys know. So 3rd year, she's like, I'm going to find a way to work from home. So she started this online this e-commerce store. It was actually on Etsy. It was customizing wine glasses. And she was hand painting them, took forever. I thought it was the worst idea ever. And I came home and she's putting them in the oven to like bake them on and stuff. And I'm like, come on, let's just make dinner. Come on, what's going on? But they started to sell, and they started to sell so fast that she couldn't keep up.
Nice.
So she had to find a way to scale it. And at that point, it was 2012, and really the online personalization market wasn't there, or if it was like a 1 to 2 to 3
Yeah.
turnaround time.
Long turnaround.
So I started looking into it. And I'm like, wow, this is a really good opportunity. And I went on for my 4th year. I got hurt and really started with her full time. And what ended up happening was just did a lot of research and really looked into it. And my first year outside the NFL, we were making more money than I was playing football. So I'm like, man, that was just a blessing,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
blessing. And just grinded, man. Just tried to figure out what to buy, where to buy it, source it all. And I started running my own business from our house on our kitchen tables where we started. And we're still running it for about 2 years out of the house, and then eventually got a storefront and started hiring people.
So
That is
ground
awesome.
up, ground
Ground
up,
up, man.
I mean, just yep.
And then that just led to really 5 years into it, it led to this company. We were personalizing a ton of bottles, and there was insulated drinkware out there, and I couldn't bring it to the gym with me. It would make me mad. So I'd bring 1 cup to work, I'd use it all day, and then I'm like, man, I just want to go make a protein shake or pre-workout or whatever it is, and I have to grab another cup. And I would get mad because there'd be like 4 or 5 cups in the sink at the end of the day, right? I'm like, I just want 1 cup for everything I do.
Right.
And that's where the idea came from.
So essentially, can I and if I don't let this offend you. I hope this doesn't offend you. Is it essentially like a Yeti with a shaker on it?
Yeah, man. It's really the simplest idea that just no one did.
No one did that.
Is what it came down
They
to.
have
Nobody
Yetis
did it.
and they got the flat top,
Yep.
right? I've got
Yep.
like 18 Yetis at the house, flat top. This is a Yeti with a shaker.
That's all it is, man. It's really what it comes down to. Same technology. It's going to keep it hot or cold. And then we just added an agitator into it, measurement markings, a handle on it. Just kind of took the Yeti model and just gave it a ton more features.
I love that.
And made
It's
it for everything.
Like
Yeah.
they say on the tank all the time. They say it's a better mousetrap.
It
Better
is, man.
mousetrap. Love that.
And it's
And
easy
Chris,
as it
I got to
sounds.
throw this out there,
What's
bro,
that?
because you and I we're essentially neighbors. So if as you guys are growing, if you need to hire anybody, guess who you need to call? That's right.
Foster, the dot father.
That's right. All I do is connect the right talent. I was a recruiter, so I give you the right kind of people that you need to get.
And I love it because that is something I don't have experience in. So it is something I struggled with, and I did, probably what most people do. I went and hired family and friends. And,
Right.
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
That's
And
right.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
it's tough.
And then
because
after a
they're
while,
friends
though,
and family, right?
you also run out of friends and family too. And
Right.
we're at the point where
Yeah.
we ran out of friends and family that we could bring in. So
Right.
it was a good thing though, because then you really learn how to run a business the right way. Because it's not, I can just trust this person with closing the store. You can't necessarily because
Yeah.
you don't know who's in your store anymore. So it made us get better, a lot better, and put a lot more processes in, and really also helped us find the right people too.
What's the biggest challenge that you have overcome in either your, professional or your entrepreneurial? What's something that, in sports, like something
Man.
that you've overcome that was like a devastating moment that you felt like this sucks?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Gordy beat you up.
Nah, no way, man. Something that sucked that I overcame for sure was our first shipment of these bottles, man. So you get all excited, you think you have the best product ever, right? You go through 20 prototypes, you finally get it, and it's finally perfect. You're like, all right, I'm gonna put this big order in, and I did. So we got 10,000 bottles was our first shipment.
Nice.
And
Wow.
for someone that's ground up, like no
Slanging
customer
bottles.
base, nothing,
That's a
right?
huge order, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big order, right? And it was in the upstairs
That's
of my
big.
house, just chilling, right? It's
a lot of boxes.
Big, bro.
We go through them, and the first thing I do is I'm gonna QC them. I'm like, all right, I got a quality control, check these puppies, and make sure everything's good, because it was the very first cups we were sending out. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna send out something that even has a tiny scratch on it. So
Yeah.
I'm checking them, and never had an issue with the pop tops leaking, right? So I'm going through them, and I'm shaking them. I mean, I had forearm strength by the end of this, by the way, man. After 20 prototypes, man.
Yeah, you
It
build
wasn't
a
just a
build
nice
a
shaker, it was a
farm,
shake
man.
weight.
I was shredded, right?
You got
I'm-
rocks on the inside
Yeah,
of them, like
I should have got like a machine to do it, but yeah, I'm in like third bottle in, man, and I fill it up, and I literally just hold it upside down, and it's just dripping all over the floor.
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
what is going on? I'm not even shaking it yet, and it was an issue we never had. The pop tops, and they were made in sets of 2. One set of them was just made incorrectly, and it wouldn't hold at all. And so it was pretty much impossible to tell them apart. So I had to end up changing each and every lid out.
Oh,
And so
man.
this was a process at the time. It was a side hustle, man. So it was a passion of mine.
Right.
I'm just sitting in the upstairs in my house, just twisting off lids with my father-in-law, and did that for months, man, for months. And
Wow.
all comes down to kind of the principle that when you start something, you better absolutely love it.
Right.
You better have a passion for it, because if you don't, you're giving up on it, man. When the first thing like that hits, which it did from day one,
Hit him with a mic drop. Hit him.
Yeah, man.
Hit him.
Right there, boom.
you give up on it. Yeah. So I was just so passionate about it. I was not going to let it fail no matter what. So I sat up there every night, man, twisting lids, and then, my wrist strength was there after
Yep.
that.
Y'all
It
hear
was
that?
all good.
Oh, that's
Not
grit
gonna
right
let
there.
it
That's
fail.
grit.
Yep,
Yeah,
grit.
man.
Not gonna let
Better
it
than
fail.
those ISOs we do in the gym.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just traded in a workout for twisting some lids off.
Yeah.
All right, so I got some kind of a shotgun round while we got a few more minutes in here. Kind of a shotgun round of questions for you. I want to know. I just got to know. What was it like playing with Romo?
Man, that whole team. It was just filled with talent, man. Every single player on that team, and it was insane for a rookie to go in there and just see that locker room, or the car show is what I call it. You pull in, man. There's a new $100,000 car in there every day, and that's and for me, a guy who just never thought I even had a chance, it was just mind blowing for me, man. So I was just in, head down, just trying to be the
Just
best I could
getting
be,
it.
man.
Did Dez catch it?
Dez.
Dez?
Yeah, he caught it for sure. I wasn't there with him anymore, but 100% a catch.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Gotta make-
And he's
Well,
back,
the NFL
man.
said it was a catch too. They
Yeah.
reversed it, right?
Yeah, and they changed it
came
the
out and
next
said-
year.
yeah.
100% catch, man. And I know my brother just caught one the other day in the end zone where they swatted it after like one step, and I thought it was going to be called back, and that was a touchdown. So
Man, these refs, we need to figure something out. You should be. I feel like.
Back to consistency.
Okay, so because you got some influence in that space, I just want you to know. Here's my opinion on it. You should be able to challenge any aspect of the play, and it still counts as a timeout if you don't get it right. But you should be able to challenge anything.
Now,
You only
now
get-
we're into like basketball game time frame.
the only problem is you could literally. You can challenge every holding call on every play, man. I mean, there's holding every play. Right?
There's
only get
holding
so
every
many.
play,
there's,
bro.
there's
Yeah.
PI on every play.
You only
Yeah.
get, it's the same rules though, because you only get so many, because you only get per timeout, right? So
Yeah.
if you get it wrong, you lose your timeout. You only have so many. So you would use it wisely. You wouldn't just challenge everything.
You guys
you
were.
use it
You
wisely.
guys pay a fine for what we were coached to do back in
Yeah.
my day.
I paid some hefty fines myself, man. The
Yeah.
FedEx letter came for me one day because I was always told play to the whistle, right?
Right.
I lit a guy up right before the whistle blew, and then I guess the NFL rules actually, if it's unnecessary before or after the whistle, you still get fined. So
You get fined. Mhm.
yeah, I was seeking a job, so I had to go all out no matter what, and took a nice, I think it was $8,700 fine for that one.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
learned the rule after that though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you pay
Hey,
for it.
Ooh, I'd be
That's a
broke.
classic case of learning through a failure, right?
That's
Like,
right.
Yeah.
like you learn your lesson, right? I saw a picture of you. I think it was on your Instagram or something like that. You were golfing with DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah, man.
D Ware.
Yeah.
All right. So who won that game?
No, so I wasn't actually golfing with him.
Oh, okay.
He has a new workout concept that he has going on, and what he's doing is he's actually holding workouts on a Saturday or as a Sunday at Cowboys golf course.
Oh,
So I
okay.
went out there, and man, it's funny because I worked out with him 10 years ago, right? He invited me for a workout during the off season, and it was like the most brutal workout I've ever done. It started with 20 sets or 20 reps of cleans at 225.
Oh my
which is-
God, man.
Like I almost threw up after the first set.
Yeah, no doubt.
And so I was like, all right, 10 years later, I'm going to work out with him again, right?
Uh-huh.
And it was just as bad. This time, just straight body weight, 40 minutes, just straight burners, man. 45 seconds on with a 10-second break, and then boom, right into the next one. And it was a good workout, though. I'm still sore from it. And that was on
Yay.
Sunday.
Wow, yeah.
Dang. So
Man.
Mark and I
Yeah, man.
are Cowboys club members, so we need to get together, man, over there at the club and go holler at Jerry.
Yeah,
Shake him up a little bit, because man, they're not doing anything this year. And look, we need to. Every year we're going to the Super Bowl, but we never go to the Super Bowl.
That's football. That's
Hey, man.
football.
No, this is the real 54.
Hey, we're still in the hunt. We're still in the hunt.
Hey,
The battle of
so are
the
they, man?
54.
What do you mean? They're close to the top of the division.
oh yeah, we're close to the
I
top.
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's it like to work for Cuban?
Cuban, man. So what's really cool about him and what he does is he just has a whole team that he's built out. I mean, he's a multi-billionaire, and
Yeah.
he invested $75,000 in the company, right? So I'm not gonna get like one-on-one attention every day.
Right.
Right.
But at the same time, he does have hundreds of companies that he's probably close to 100 Shark Tank companies, and he's built out this awesome team, and I have advisors I can call each and every day. And again, it's also about networking.
Right.
What's cool about it is I can call any one of those other 80 companies under the Mark Cuban company's umbrella and
Pick their brain.
Yeah, and they're going to tell me, what I want to know, or maybe hook me up with a relationship they have, and it's huge, man.
Dude.
Stuff that I have questions about that I'm not sure about with, do I want to work with QVC, or do I want to bring in this SMS, company to send out text messages?
That's a network.
Email services, anything like that. They just say, hey, man, this company is crushing it with that. Why don't you talk to their CEO? He'll tell you. And then I'll get an unbiased opinion on anything that I want to know instead of hearing it from their sales rep.
Dang, now that's a mic drop right there. I got to give a shout out to
you
Cuban.
got to,
we got to
shout out Mark Cuban for that, because that's awesome.
And by the way, if you're listening, go ahead and tag Mark Cuban.
Yeah,
just tag him. Let him know you're watching.
Let him know, man.
Let him know you're
He's
watching
here
Chris
at
right
D-Town. We need to get
He's right
Mark,
up the street.
Right, yeah, we need to get Mark on this thing.
Yeah,
You know
with
what
your
I'm saying?
influence, man, you could probably get him.
Yeah, I'll go knock on his door. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah.
No, I won't.
No.
Hey,
He's
so
got a
we've had a
security guard
lot
there,
of
by the
mic
way.
drop moments.
I've been there once, man.
What's that?
Yeah, you're not getting to his front door.
No, you're not getting to the gates.
Yeah.
Lasers.
you're
He's
not.
got lasers.
I can't get to that front door without an appointment, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Who You Know Show podcast. My name is Trevor Houston, and if you've enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing wherever you listen and leave us a positive review to help us keep the mics on in the studio. Until next week, that's the show. It's all about who you know.